I'm sorry. These two words are the modern man's greatest curse. Do not misunderstand. It is a virtue to apologize when you are at fault. We are not talking about being a barbarian. When you harm someone, break a promise, or violate a principle, apologizing is taking responsibility. That is power. But that is not what you are doing. You apologize for existing. You apologize for taking up space. You apologize for stating your opinion. You even apologize reflexively when someone else bumps into you. This is not politeness. This is submission. In psychology, this is called the submissive apology. Do not degrade yourself. Welcome to the sovereign sector. Here, we discuss the problems and issues of modern men, and we ascend together. My goal is a resistance against the modern world's attempt to destroy the concept of masculinity. I explain, step by step, how they manipulate us and erode our manhood. Do not forget to subscribe to support the cause and state your thoughts in the comments. Let's get back to the video. Every time you say an unnecessary, "I'm sorry," your subconscious screams this message to the world and to yourself: I do not belong here. I am worthless. I am invading your space, please do not hurt me. This is an evolutionary fear reflex. The weakest member of the herd shrinks and apologizes so the alpha won't attack him. What you are doing is exactly this. You say, "Excuse me, sorry, can you look here," to call a waiter at a restaurant. Why? That person's job is to look after you. You are the customer. You did not commit a crime that requires an apology. You say, "Sorry for interrupting, but I have an idea," to speak up in a meeting. Why? Is your idea not valuable? You are trashing your own value before you even start the sentence. The Stoics say, no one will ever respect a man who does not respect himself. By constantly apologizing, you give people permission not to respect you. The person across from you subconsciously stops seeing you as a threat, stops taking you seriously, and codes you as a manageable piece. This habit pulls your place in the social hierarchy to the bottom rung without you even realizing it. People do not remember those who constantly apologize as polite. They remember them as insecure and weak. And in the business world or relationships, no one invests in insecure people. So, what is the solution? Shall we be rude? Never. The sovereign man does not confuse politeness with weakness. Remove those unnecessary apologies from your vocabulary and replace them with the word "thank you." This is not a simple language game, it is a mindset revolution. Are you late for a meeting? Do not say, "I am sorry for being late." This makes you the criminal and them the judge. Say this: "Thank you for waiting." This shows you appreciate their patience and moves you from the psychology of guilt to the position of leadership. When someone gives you way, do not say, "Sorry," say, "Thanks" and pass. Do not say, "Excuse me," when starting to speak to ask for something. Say, "Allow me." Do you feel the difference? One begs, the other demands. One looks from the bottom up, the other stands at eye level. Watch yourself starting today. How many times a day do you say, "Sorry," or "I apologize"? If you really didn't make a mistake, if you didn't step on someone's foot, swallow that word. Remaining silent is 1,000 times better than an unnecessary apology. You are not a mistake. You are not surplus. You are here, and you deserve the space you occupy. Do not ask anyone for forgiveness for this. Stand tall. And bow only, but only, if you are truly at fault. And that, only once. What are you doing right now while watching this video? You aren't even aware, are you? Maybe you are shaking your leg. Maybe your hand goes to your beard. Maybe you are tapping a rhythm on the table with your fingers. Maybe you are playing with a piece of your clothing. Stop. Just stop and try to remain motionless like a statue. It feels hard, doesn't it? Your body betrays you. It wants to move, scratch, fidget. This fidgeting state is the most insidious enemy that crushes your social status like a sledgehammer. Status comes from controlled movement and stillness. Let me exemplify this for you. When you enter a room, you don't need to look at words to understand who is prey and who is hunter. You just need to look at who moves how much. The prey is tense. The prey is on trigger. The prey constantly fidgets because it is ready to flee at any moment. Adrenaline makes it unable to stand still. The hunter, however, is still. He does not waste his energy. He moves only when he needs to attack. When you shake your leg at that meeting table, when you constantly touch your neck while talking to that girl, when you play with your nails in the waiting room, you scream this to the world: I am nervous. I am uncomfortable. I am afraid to be here right now. FBI interrogation experts and behavioral analysts look for pacifying behaviors to understand if someone is lying or under stress. What are these? Touches a person makes to calm themselves down. Rubbing the neck. Fixing the tie. Touching the face. Every time you do these, you give the subconscious of the person across from you the message: this man is currently under pressure and about to break. You lose your leadership quality. You lose your reliability. What did the Stoic philosopher Epictetus say? He who cannot master his own body can master nothing. If you cannot even keep your own hands steady, how will you convince people that you can manage a company, a family, or a crisis? You cannot. Look at great leaders. Kings in history, powerful CEOs, mob bosses. Look at the Godfather character in movies. What makes them strong is not how much they shout. It is how little they move. Their hands are calm when speaking. They are motionless like a mountain when listening. This stillness creates pressure on the other side. Because people are afraid of static things. Stillness is the purest form of self-confidence and control. So, how will you get rid of this curse? Solution: conscious stillness. Play a game today. When you go to a cafe or sit in a meeting, give yourself a command: I am a statue made of stone. Put your hands on the table or on your knees. And do not move even a millimeter unless it is necessary, truly necessary. Do not reach for your phone. Do not fix your hair. Do not play with your cup. Just stop. At first, that restless energy inside will force you. You will say, I must do something. Don't. Sit inside that restlessness. Feel that tension and manage it. You will see that as you stand still, the world around you will start to slow down. People will start looking at you more carefully. Your words will be heavier, your glances more effective. Because when you reduce mobility, you increase your presence. Every unnecessary movement is a leak from your power. Do not leak your energy. Keep it inside. Let them be the ones shaking their legs. Let them be the ones biting their nails. Let them be the ones sweating from tension. You be the rock in the middle of the storm. Unshakable. Motionless. An absolute ruler. You know the types who can't stop explaining themselves to be noticed. I did this. Do you know how much I earn? I bought this car the other day. I bench press this much. They are repulsive and chatty. If that person is you, don't do it. Hush. Just hush. Nothing lowers a man's value faster than praising himself with his own mouth. This is called signaling theory. There is a rule in nature: a creature that truly possesses a trait does not struggle to prove it. It just is. Think of a lion walking in the forest. You cannot see the lion going to other animals and saying, "I am the king," you know that, right? "Look how big my claws are." The lion just walks. And everyone knows he is the king. Animals with fear, insecurity, and feelings of inadequacy make noise. Small dogs bark constantly for this reason. Big dogs are silent, until they need to bite. When you constantly tell of your achievements, money, muscles, or status, the subconscious of the person across from you hears this: "I don't even believe I have these qualities myself. Please validate me. Please say, 'Well done,' to me. Please tell me I am valuable." This is neediness. This is weakness. People are not stupid. While listening to you praise yourself, they might smile at your face, maybe say, "Wow," but inwardly they lose their respect for you. Because real power is silent. Real wealth whispers, it doesn't shout. Real talent performs, it doesn't show off. Also, if we look from a Machiavellian perspective, explaining yourself is strategic suicide. What does Robert Greene say in The 48 Laws of Power? Always conceal your intentions. When you tell everything, you lay your cards on the table. People know exactly what you have, what you know, how strong you are. This makes you predictable. It makes you vulnerable. If your enemies, or rivals, know your limits, they can defeat you. But what happens when you remain silent? Silence creates mystery. When you don't speak, people are forced to fill the gaps with their own imaginations. And the human mind tends to imagine the unknown as always bigger, stronger, and more dangerous than it is. Think of the man who enters a room, just listens, smiles and passes, and says nothing about himself. That man makes everyone nervous. Who is this man? What is he thinking? What can he do? This is social dominance. Think of yourself as an iceberg. Let the visible part, what you tell, be only 10%. Let the remaining 90% stay hidden underwater. Let people hear about your achievements from others. Let them see how strong you are when you lift the weight in the gym, not when you tell it. Let them understand how rich you are from your lifestyle, not when you show the bills. Let them see how smart you are when you produce the solution in a crisis, not when you wave your diploma. Praising yourself is a trap your ego sets for you. For that momentary satisfaction, you sell your long-term respectability. Apply ghost mode not just in your life but also in your language starting today. When someone asks, "What do you do?" don't tell your whole career. Give a short, clear, and humble answer. Let them discover you. Discovering a person is the first step to admiring them. But if you vomit everything in the first minute, there is nothing left to discover. You become boring. You become simple. Don't be simple. Be a riddle. Let your achievements make the noise, not you. Think of that first moment you meet a man. You say your name, extend your hand, and look into his eyes. Exactly within that microsecond, the hierarchy between you is determined. Who will lead, who will follow, who is dominant, who is submissive is sealed at that moment. And most men fail this test before they even enter the exam. I am combining two great sins because they are like twin brothers, shifty eyes and the dead fish handshake. Let's start with the eyes first. Eyes are not the window to the soul. Eyes are the weapon of intent. Avoiding eye contact, looking down, or focusing left and right while talking to someone, in evolutionary biology, this means, "I am not a threat, please do not hurt me." A dog looks away when afraid. A child looks down when they commit a crime. You are an adult. You are a man. Why are you looking down? Did you discover something new on your shoes? The person who breaks eye contact first is usually the person who loses psychological superiority. But be careful. I am not talking about the psychopath stare here. Staring without blinking at all is not power, it is creepiness. This is the effort of someone with low social intelligence to appear alpha. Real power is relaxed eye contact. You look at the person across from you. While he looks at you, there is no fear, no search for approval, or no panic in your pupils. You just see and are seen. Looking into someone's eyes while talking means, I am here with you, I am not afraid of you, and I have nothing to hide. This arouses immense trust and respect on the other side. For Stoics, this is a matter of honesty. The man who does not lie, who does not manipulate, has no need to avert his eyes. Now let's come to that hand. Meaning the handshake. There is a single moment in my life where my respect for a man drops to zero in a second. That moment when I shake his hand and it feels like a lifeless, wet, and loose piece of meat. This is called the dead fish. Shaking a man's hand like this is an insult to him. It is an insult to yourself. You give the message, I have no energy, I have no spine, I am reluctant towards life. On the other hand, there are also the bone crushers. Those who squeeze your hand like a vice, trying to crush you. This is not power either. This is overcompensation. It is an insecurity screaming, look how strong I am. So how does the sovereign man make contact? The formula is simple but its application requires mastery. Full grip. Join the palm of your hand exactly with the palm of the person across from you. That web between the thumbs must touch each other. Do not hold from the fingertips half-heartedly. Dry and hard. If your hand is sweaty, wipe it unnoticed. A moist hand is a sign of anxiety. Your squeezing force should be like holding a hard apple. You will neither crush it nor drop it. Eye-hand coordination. Look into his eyes while shaking his hand. Never look at his hand. Never look at the ground. This combination, meaning the firm handshake and unwavering eye contact, sends dopamine and respect signals to the brain of the person across from you. Their brains say, this man is solid. I can trust this man. Games cannot be played with this man. Remember, people forget what you said. They forget what you wore. But they never forget how you made them feel. A weak handshake and a shifty look make them feel disgust and pity. A strong contact makes them feel trust and admiration. When you enter a room, extend your hand. Establish that contact. And be the winner of that 3-second silent war. Because a man who cannot exist in the physical world has no rule in the mental world. Think of a table. For men are sitting, drinking their beers. But the topic spoken is neither business, nor ideas, nor the future. The topic is the fifth man, who is not there. Did you hear what Ahmet did? That man is already like that. His wife said this. Stop. Do you hear this voice? This is the voice of low value. A man's status is betrayed by the topics he speaks about, before his bank account. And gossip is the vilest act of the male world. Remember that famous quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. When you talk about others, you are actually confessing this to the world. My life is so boring, so empty, and so meaningless that I have to look at others' lives to feel excitement. This is a confession. A confession of your own inadequacy. Gossip is passive aggression. Speaking behind the back of a man you dare not speak to his face is cowardice. For Stoics, this is the greatest waste of time. Seneca says, to be interested in what others are doing is to neglect one's own soul. You spend your energy judging someone who is not there. That man is probably doing his job, making money, or living his life at that moment. You are fighting with his shadow. It is very clear who wins, isn't it? Also, there is a strategic truth. The man who comes to you and gossips about someone else will go to someone else and gossip about you the moment you leave his side. This is an unfailing rule. Do not believe the "he told me a secret" lie. Characterless people have no loyalty. Therefore, if you are surrounded by people who gossip, you are actually in a minefield. You can be stabbed in the back at any moment. So what does the sovereign man do in this situation? When gossip starts in an environment, he does not enter that toxic frequency. He remains silent. He does not participate. He does not laugh. He makes no comment. This silence disturbs the person gossiping. Because they are looking for an accomplice and you have rejected that partnership. Do you want an even more advanced technique? When someone comes to you and says, "Do you know what I heard about person X?" look into their eyes and ask this, "Why are you telling me this?" Or, "Can you say this to that person's face too?" These questions cut the gossip like a knife. That pleasant chat atmosphere turns into an icy seriousness instantly. The person across from you might get upset. They might even ask you, "How serious are you?" Let them. Your respectability is more important than their entertainment. Remember, leaders do not speak behind backs. Leaders either speak to the face or do not speak at all. A man busy building his own empire has no time to deal with the weeds in someone else's garden. If you have time, it means you are not working enough. It means you are not focused enough. Cleanse your tongue. Cleanse your mind. Leave talking about others to the sidekicks. You are the main character. Focus on your own script. You see that type at every party, every social event, every nightclub. Standing away from the music and crowd, in a dim corner, leaning his back against the wall. He has a drink in his hand. That arrogant, slightly condescending expression saying, "I am better than everyone here, this place bores me," hangs on his face. He speaks to no one. He laughs at no one. He just watches. Movies taught you that this man is mysterious, deep, and alpha, right? You thought women would line up to discover this silent stranger. Let me tell you a painful truth. That man is not cool or anything. That man is a coward terrified of rejection. In psychology, this is called aloofness as a defense mechanism. What this man does is not a strategic show of power. It is an effort to take the ego under protection. The logic is this: if I don't talk to anyone, no one can reject me. If I don't enter the game, I cannot lose the game. He looks down on people because he fears his inadequacy will be understood if he stands at eye level with them. That cool stance is actually an armor saying, "Please don't talk to me, I don't know what to say." And people sense this. When you stand sulking in that corner, you do not look unreachable. You just look misfit and loser. Social environments are about energy exchange. You go there and suck energy like a vampire but put nothing on the table. This is not high-value behavior. This is social parasitism. Stoics say man is a social animal. Marcus Aurelius says, "We were created for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids." Isolating yourself from others is against your nature. Withdrawing to the corner by acting superior is actually betraying society and yourself. Real power is not hiding in the corner. It is walking to the center of the room and throwing yourself into the fire. Real self-confidence is being able to say, "Hello," risking rejection. Real charisma is not giving people the feeling, "I am superior to you," it is giving them the energy, "I make you feel good next to me." Look, no one remembers that man by the wall. That man returns home alone at the end of the night and tells himself the lie, they were not at my level. But actually, he took no risks that night, made no connections, and lived nothing. He is a spectator watching life from the stands. Not a player on the field. The sovereign man does not stick to the walls when he enters a room. He walks to the center of the venue. Because he carries no shame that needs to be hidden. He makes eye contact with people. He smiles, yes, smiling is power when appropriate. He meets. He initiates. He does not try to look cool. Because he is already warm. Charismatic people are warm. They look accessible but have boundaries. The man in the corner is cold. And no one wants to hug a cold statue. Do not fall into this trap. Next time you catch yourself fleeing to that safe corner, stop. That wall is not your friend, it is your prison. Straighten your shoulders, take a deep breath, cross that invisible line, and mingle with people. Take the risk. Risk looking like a fool. Because the man fighting in the arena with dust and sweat on his face is always superior to that cool man sitting in the stands criticizing. Do not be a wall ornament. Be a player. You are afraid of silence, aren't you? When that deadly silence occurs in an environment, you panic. You feel as if it is your duty to fill that void. You immediately make a joke. You give an unnecessary detail. You enter an irrelevant topic. You scatter words into the air just so that silence breaks. Congratulations. You just left all your power on the table and lost. Talking too much is the biggest strategic mistake a man can make. What did the ancients say? Empty vessels make the most noise. The more a person talks, the more the value of what they say drops. If you say whatever comes to your mind, your words have no weight. People do not wonder, I wonder what he will say now, while listening to you. Because you are already giving everything for free. But the man who speaks little is different. When he opens his mouth, everyone shuts up. Because he rarely speaks, and everyone knows he will say something important when he does. Your words must be like diamonds. Rare and valuable. You scatter them like pebbles. Psychologically, talking too much is a sign of neuroticism and loss of control. The man who constantly talks is actually trying to silence his own inner voice. Also, the man who talks too much exposes himself. Robert Greene puts this as the fourth law in The 48 Laws of Power, always say less than necessary. Why? Because the more you talk, the more likely you are to talk nonsense. The more likely you are to give away a secret. The more likely you are to look foolish. While trying to impress the person across from you, you actually humiliate yourself. They asked Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, one day, why do you speak so little? The answer he gave is one of the greatest lessons in history, because nature gave us 2 ears, but only 1 mouth. So that we listen twice as much as we speak. Listening is power. Speaking is risk. While listening, you gather information. You analyze your opponent. You read intentions. You do not make mistakes. While speaking, you only repeat what you know and become an open target. Think like an intelligence agent. Information is power. By speaking, you throw your power, meaning information, out. The silent man across from you collects your power. When you leave that table, he will know everything about you. You will know nothing about him. You will just feel like a fool in love with his own voice. So how will you stop this impulse? Let me teach you the pregnant pause technique. When someone asks you a question or it is your turn to speak, do not jump immediately. Stop. Count to 3 inside. Look into their eyes and wait. That 3-second silence creates immense tension on the other side. They worry, thinking, did I say something wrong? What is he thinking? Control is completely yours at that moment. And then, give a short, clear, and striking answer. Do not elongate your sentences. Do not use filler words like, well, actually. Learn to put a period. Hush when your sentence ends. Wait for the reaction of the other side. Let them fill that silence. The sovereign man does not fire randomly like a machine gun. He is a sniper. He takes a single shot. And that shot hits the target. Put a filter on your mouth starting today. Before saying something, ask yourself these 3 questions. Is this thing I am going to say true? Is this thing I am going to say necessary? Is this thing I am going to say more valuable than silence? If the answer is no, swallow that word. Let them know you as silent. Let them know you as cold. It is better than being known as a fool. In this video, we talked about 7 things you should not do in public according to Stoics. If there is another option you want to add or a point you criticize, do not hesitate to discuss with me in the comments. We will dive into secret techniques and details of manipulation that many channels do not touch upon very soon. Subscribe to be one of the core members before we become a massive community and take your place. We are strong together. End of transmission.